And I think we should be live. I see people are already here waiting on us. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. Uh, Nats man had to use potty.
That's it.
He's going
Ha-
to keep some
Hashtag
clear and
diabetes.
focused. I want to say hi to Bink Scott, Don's Field of Dreams. Thank you for getting back to me today. Still haven't found out much about that card, Don. It was actually Clemente I was texting you about. And me and Mike O, he looked on CVC for me, or VC, whatever, VCP, whatever that vintage card pricing thing for me. It was a 19, let you know what I was talking about, Matt. So it was a 1968 Roberto Clemente American Oil play ball card. So it's like a game, some type of game card. And it was a BVG 6.5.
That's going way back.
Yeah. And so I don't really BVG, I don't trust the 6.5 to start with. And they were asking, he had the type of sticker on there that had book price and then sale price, right? So, which makes me giggle because, my gosh, that we don't really go by that. And so the last sell like that me and Mike could find was from 2021 on a 2 PSA, and it went for almost as much as this guy was asking for. A year and a half, a year later, and first time I ever saw it, and I don't know if I'll ever see it again, but
he sounds,
Don. I just thought
that sounds like somebody that listed it may have been like a coin collector or a currency collector.
How you doing? Yeah, it was very old school to me when I saw that today. So I went to a show yesterday by Page and Denman.
Is that the one you were telling me about?
Yeah, I went to the one in Hickory yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, Victor.
Oh yeah, let us know how that went.
All right. So seeing Victor, I did talk to Val. Of course, he's from that area, Hickory. Your pal Val does the NASCAR. I need to introduce you to him next time we go because he does the NASCAR stuff. So if you have NASCAR questions, he knows his stuff. He's one of the few that got away with no sickness. Yeah, thank you, Don. I can tell you right now, it was a BVG 6.5. He wanted 1,100 for it, and I was going to come back with the last sell was like 900 on it. And that was over a year ago. And I don't think we're in that same place right now. Lou Rock TV. And I really think if I was at a PSA, because it still had it had the frayed edges because it's one of those break apart type of deals. I don't think it's a 6.5, but it's in a thing saying it's a 6.5, so it's kind of hard to have that argument. Good evening, gents. I don't think SGC or PSA or CSG would do that. Sounds like a country song went that show yesterday. So yesterday I went to Hickory, went down to Hickory. Looking for a shoulder steal.
Better get behind because he's rolling up the interstate.
Yeah, I went down yonder, down to 40 there.
He's dodging orange barrels and cones along the way.
Yeah. So, you know how we went in there and it had the cards, right? Well, they didn't have any cards on that side. That was just toys and games. So
also, it was the toy and card show.
Yeah, so they had those doors locked that we went to the bathroom over there too, right? Or the concession stand. They had a doorway open that went to the concession stand, the one that we used before. They had tables and chairs set up for people to sit down. And then that room that had that like almost like a some convention or something going on.
Was it the wrestling where they were doing the wrestling, or the one that way down?
It was where they were doing the wrestling. That one, that was nothing but cards. So they had 2 shows basically for $5 from 9 to 4. So this was a good. They should have had a 2-day show, really. But here's the kicker, right? It only took a couple hundred, which I'm happy with. I showed. Hey, what's up, Max? Man, left the channel.
I'm here.
Okay. So I sit down and find a great dollar spot. This guy had dollar boxes all the way down, every sport, non-sport, and he had like at different amounts that you got a cheaper price. So I went ahead and got 100 cards for $50, 50 cents a card. He threw in a couple of extras because I was a little over. And another spot, so I got like 125 cards for a little over, I think like $60 at the show. Hey, Fernando, nice to see you, brother. And while y'all are all here, really thank y'all for everybody tuning in and taking a look at my Saturday show. It's just going to be something extra that I do. I just feel like now I have enough going on. I would like to have a talk and card, and more be about cards I already may have and things like that. A little bit more about my collection. But anyway, Nat Smith, so I go and sit down. So I have enough to get that Ralph Sampson, if you've seen it on Instagram or Facebook.
101.
101 NT 101 and the Houston Rockets. I do have it sitting right here. I'm a huge UVA fan, if you can't tell from behind me. So what's up, Bobbles?
Hey, what's up, Bobs?
So I'm like, as I'm walking out, I go, well, now I'm going to go walk over to the toy side. And if I see anything, I'll just go to ATM. But as I'm walking, I see some more boxes. And they're labeled. When you have a nice labeled setup, and we're going to get to more, this show should have been half the size with better. It should have took the quality, and had half the size. There was a lot of just throwing them out there, not organized, but this guy was organized. So, yes, thank you, Paige, for mentioning that. I don't really think of that. That goes a long ways to help me. Hello, Eddie. Oh, Dean. I miss Dean. Hey, Dean. How you doing, bud? So I see some more cards, and I go, hey, can you hold on to these? I'm going to go to the ATM real quick. So I walk out to the ATM, go to use it, and there's a sign on it that says down. And they said it's broken. The only person that can fix it has COVID. And the guy was like, I'm sorry. There's, some machines. There's a bank up the street. They said I can okay a little bit of cash. And I was like, no, don't worry about it. If you ain't got it, that just helps me out. I'm just saving money.
Now, let me give a disclaimer to everybody. Now, where this is at is in Hickory, North Carolina. Their convention is a nice facility, but it is a pain in the ass to get out up at the top of the road because it's right there on top of the interstate. So.
Yeah, and it's pretty much. There's one street that goes around, but you got to understand on the weekend there's a huge Harley Davidson that's kind of world renowned in Hickory there, and right beside that is a motorcycle eating place.
Very congested.
Yeah, so it's just tons of people over there. I always not nervous, but always I have a lot of friends that ride motorcycles. So when there's a lot of them around, I'm very
aware.
Right? It's a good word. So I just want to make sure everybody's safe.
Mm-hmm.
And and they're like a lot of people. They get a lot of them together. They like to play and show off and stuff. So. And they had something going on or just hanging out. I don't know, but there was a lot of people. But anyway, ATM down, couldn't get anything else. So I left and then waited for the show today. Show today, very small, right here in Clemens, which is that part of Winston-Salem or not?
Part of it is Dave. Yeah.
Okay, I'm weird. I I go
Davie
there
County's God's country, y'all.
and so I go there to get to the show. It's in an old, nicely looking, for the age of it, it's a well kept up hotel. But the convention rooms are very small because of the age, right? And you had to go by these little room. I mean, those roofs were about the ceiling was about till you went into the room. So, and I was kind of waiting for a fire inspector to come and kind of stop who comes in because it was crowded. It didn't take a lot to crowd it, and I picked up these three today. So I got a Griffey 8 Bowman's Best. Sorry for the glare facing my computer. The Topps Finest 94 MVP insert, and then I got the Stadium Club 99. So 8, and then me and JD, a friend of ours, we were talking today on the way back. He went to a show today in New England area, and he goes, "Was the show there overpriced?" Yes, both shows I went to were overpriced with what's going on, and I think what's happening is the dealers are behind on what's going on online. I think that's what's going on, or they're just too lazy to redo their pricing. Because as soon as I walked up and I looked at those three Griffies, started talking to him, I don't know if he kind of knew what I was talking about, but he instantly took $75 off before I even said anything, could even offer. And then I ended up getting a little over 100 off. So that just tells you how much those three cards were priced. It was just, I was like, there was one dealer that had some great stuff in it. He was at the show on Saturday too, but he was just so overpriced. It's almost like, how do you even start? Like, when it's that overpriced, Nats, man, how do you even approach, like, hey, will you start with like half price? It was kind of.
I like Eric's take on it is that I'm going to make you an offer, and it may sound ludicrous, but if your price is so high that it's ludicrous, I'm going to give you a ludicrous low ball and see if you bounce the ball back across the net to me.
It wasn't. I hate being. I don't want to be disrespectful. There was a card stolen at the show Saturday. Supposedly it was a big boy card. It was pretty frantic.
I've always wondered how that was going to be because that's a lot of
it was near the front door. So how they had it was the side doors were open. They didn't have. I tell you what, that show was huge, and he had absolutely no security there, none. And that show was huge. And I stopped by my LCS to pick up, or just pick up. I just felt like I wanted to buy something else, and I wanted to see if they had something. And this is what I was.
Let them know who your LCS is because they've got a great reputation here in the state.
Score more cards in score more cards in Winston, but they're also like in Clemens, I believe.
They got a great reputation.
Yeah, and they're I asked them if they were setting up. He said no, they've only set up once. They don't like setting up. It's a hassle, but man, they do trade nights. They're on Facebook. They have a website. They just on the weekend, they did it right for the Topps thing last weekend. Huge trade night. They have great prices. I bought this box for what it was selling on Panini, right?
Wow.
Right. So it was like $40 cheaper than the big three places. And I told them, even if they're in the ballpark, I'm going to support the LCS.
Mhm.
Uh,
I want to go to that one in Raleigh, downtown Raleigh, too. I haven't got to get there.
The only one I found in Raleigh. Oh, I haven't been to one in Raleigh. I went to the one in Greensboro.
That one that was set up at Hickory.
Yeah, well, see, the next show that was in Hickory is going to be in Raleigh Fairgrounds. I can't remember when.
We'll look that up because I want to go.
Yeah, I'll look
if you're able to go. I'd like to go.
Yeah, I was telling Nats, man, I have made it to the overtime schedule. I'm no longer on I done made it up a rank at my new job, even though I've been working for him for over 8 years now.
Moving on up, moving on up.
So with that part, I get. So I don't know if I'll be off. It's only every 5th Saturday, and if nobody else wants it. So, and we got some hungry people that I work with, which is fine by me. I'll eat ramen noodles. I'm good. I'm a ramen noodle chef.
That's it. Your little tomatoes and do the little sprinkle.
I will. I'll get it going. You give me that and a pack of $1 hot dogs, and I can eat for a week.
There it is. Texas Pete, you be set.
That's right. Oh, I have cock sauce. That'll last forever. So if you know what that is, It's that like Korean hot sauce. It's got the rooster on the front of it. It's a little thicker. That stuff's great. You only need a little squirt.
Put hair everywhere you didn't think you had hair. Probably.
Yeah, it's awesome. We got 357 here.
Hey, what's that 357?
So that was kind of my weekend in cards. Had a great weekend. Last weekend was a down weekend, and it was a good weekend just to kind of see what else is going on. And I can tell there is a lot of confusion out there. I can tell you that. Saturday was fun, though. It was a fun atmosphere at that card show. I don't know why it felt that way. It was a lot of people there in the morning. About 1 o'clock, the card side started slowing down. The toy side stayed busy. It was just a fun atmosphere. And I think because the dealers were working with people, I really do.
On the card side, did you see anything, any Tatis pricing?
Latrell, I did see. I did hear about the fake Fleer 86 box authenticated, and that we'll talk about that in a minute. Tatis. Saturday, I saw one Tatis on the floor the whole day in a case, and that was an autograph one at a booth that had a lot of autograph stuff, which I probably would have went back and got a Johnny Bench jersey if I could have went to the ATM. But, at these local shows, you would see that again. The same people set up at most of the local shows. So when that guy does 3 or 4 shows around here a year, all those same people are going to show up. So I'm not really worried about any of that. Today I saw quite a bit Tatis in there, but nobody had pricing on it, and I didn't really ask, and because I don't. I know
you don't collect.
Yeah, I just saw more today, and you know how I am anyway about young players. I back off, and I hope. For a little while, I think this is a learning, but it's not. It's one of those things. When the next flashy guy comes, everybody will forget about this and pay thousands of dollars for the next flashy piece.
That's why I was curious, because people were paying some of his cards. They were paying ungodly amounts of money still for some of his stuff. I was just kind of curious if anybody still was putting stuff out.
Anybody else go to a show this weekend that's in the chat? See any Tatis out or asked about Tatis? Because I've heard that on socials, Tatis, people are almost giving it away. In our little group chat, I have not looked.
I hadn't either.
Right. And I did notice, and I know football season's here. I'm not done. But it's almost like basketball starting to take a little bit of a back seat. I I didn't see a lot of it. And most of the people with the cases right there with the football stuff. I know it's football season, but usually that will not stop them from not having their basketball stuff out. I don't know if anybody else has seen this, and I saw a lot of cases this weekend. Almost, if you take the percentage of what was at the national to the small shows I was at, even though the Hickory one was, I can't consider small. That was the baseball side was about the size of Philly, I would say, or the card side. There was a lot of cases and a lot of trading going on, a lot more than what I saw. When did you get that?
Finally came in.
Oh,
and this one, I picked this one up a while ago, but I'm gonna send that off to our consigner. But these were the two that really, I said I had them, I just hadn't showed them.
Right, nice. Yeah, that's nice blue.
So,
are those the bazooka ones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they look like the bazooka. I like bazooka.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. It's got the, I like the comic on it.
Now to get with this 86 Fleer box, from everything I've read and understanding, people are thinking it's fake because of the correlation and the cards are in alphabetical order. Somebody got two cards in the same package. Now in 86, the two cards in one package does not make that weird to me, because in 86 things happen, but the alphabetical and cards are usually in a non-alphabetical or numerical order.
Didn't the owner, though, he wasn't claiming that it was, he was claiming that it was a Reeboks, right?
Yeah, so this is what Reese is saying, and it really BBCE doesn't have to defend themselves. They don't. When you buy it, it's yours. There's no returns. They don't say what it is. I think out of the goodness of their heart, they did refund for the G.I. Joe one or whatever. But their statement is that it was real. I could believe that because it being the way it was in 86, it is weird. But yet, you can't say it didn't happen, because in the 80s, my God, I can get two of the same card back to back. And, and one pack.
You could sit there. If you knew how it was going to pop. You were like, okay, my third card should be a Mattingly. Pop, there it is, Mattingly.
Yeah, and you were upset at one time when it wasn't, because me and my friends knew that when they came out, with the Salos, I could sit and we would just hunt through those at the 7-Eleven at the end of my street. And, if I didn't, and I could not find the one that I wanted on top, I knew where it would be at in the order of how it was packaged.
Yep.
I don't think they did pull a Jordan rookie. That was the other, because they're supposed to have two in the box, or that's what it should.
And they didn't pull it. Yeah.
Who knows?
Anything possible.
Buyer beware on that type of thing. Just give me the 87 tops, and I know nobody's messed with that.
I would prefer, at that point, if you're wanting the Jordan, just buy the Jordan.
That's what, Carlos was saying at Saturday night or Friday night. That's a perfect statement. If you're upset because you didn't get the Jordan, just buy at that point, you could have bought whatever you paid for. You could have got two lower grade Jordans. So,
because you blew your money when you opened it, there was more value of it keeping it sealed.
Once you cut it, it's done. Once you tear that outer. But my LCS in Iowa, that guy used to get stuff all the time in cases. he would like to buy sealed cases because it's kind of hard to fake the seals on a case, even from the 80s. But when he'd get boxes in, he would buy it and show them to me and ask me, my thoughts and stuff. But, if you got somebody that takes the time and knows how to reseal them, because what you try to do is try to find those puffy corners where they couldn't reseal them correctly, or they used the wrong glue, or whatever it is.
And you said it right. Buyer beware. You got to do your due diligence as a buyer. If the deal is too good to be true, people, it's usually too good to be true.
I'll go with Bobbles because Bobbles does his research on these type of things. They pulled 3 Jordans of the regular and 1 sticker. So
yeah, Bobbles would know.
So there you go. It's almost I call a lot of people do shenanigans at that big show to bring light onto themselves, and because I haven't really heard anything else about the stuff that was stolen.
Not a word.
Yeah, that was fishy. I know what happened Saturday was real because I was standing by 1 row over when it happened. Yeah, if that 86 Fleer box wasn't wrapped by BBCE and the cards came out that way, 100% of the people would say it was resealed. And that would fall on BBCE, but it just seems like in this hobby, we're very forgiving or very forgetful. I don't know which. I mean,
both.
Yeah, because people that should not, I know just 10 years ago, it wasn't long, where you had people getting popped on these breaks and stuff and they were gone. Now they get popped and they're, got CEOs sitting with them.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Yeah, so
we have no one to blame but ourselves that support that.
Good job, Carl. Duct tape. Yeah, that's probably my dad was fixing something and got the duct tape on it. Yeah, there you go. Bobbles. I don't care if it was wrapped by Jesus. I wouldn't spend that much money on box anyway.
Preach it, brother.
Yeah, that is the thing right there. And I just want to touch on this. We're having fun right now, and I love it. Before we get to a little bit more serious things,
I was not pregnant.
Yeah,
I had to. I just
I almost put that as one of my intro picture tonight. Was that because I haven't put that picture on my phone? The 2 lines. I'm like, well, it's either got COVID or pregnant. I don't know which.
Sorry, I had to slip it in.
So the tweet I got yesterday, right before I walked into the LCS, was I feel bad for investors today. And then somebody underneath of us goes, what do you mean feel bad for investors? Well, in the same couple of days was Tatis and then Zach Wilson. And I'm like, what about the fans of those teams? What about people that just collect those players? Especially Tatis. Like, Tatis was supposed to be the face of baseball. He was on the video game last year. They did the commercials with him. I'm not apologizing for being the player that I am. I'm having fun. So they I just don't. That to me was heartbreaking because here's a guy, a young man, and he can make it up as long as he does all the right things when he comes back. It's not like this is going to bury him, but his players on the Padres are fed up with him with this, so he's going to have to act straight. You knew there was an issue last year when him and Machado got into it on the field, and Machado was telling him how it's not about him. It's about the team. And if Machado, with his way he played at Dodgers and the Orioles,
and you got Soto and Bell coming over, that's going to add more pressure for performing.
Well, now with that Soto and Bell trade, I almost wonder what the Padres knew. I mean, because they gave up a lot of future to get Soto, and they're making this playoff run. They're not going to win a division. Dodgers got that. But they're making a wild card bid, and when you get to the playoffs, You need 2 pitchers and a decent and a good bullpen to be successful. They got the lineup. Jesus, you look at that lineup. That's an awesome lineup.
Yeah.
So,
Just makes you. You're right. It makes you wonder what they may have thought they knew.
So we got Mike chiming in. Serious things will be discussed. Yeah, yeah.
There's word that the Phillies may be moving.
Glad to hear you, Nats, from Don.
Thank you, Don.
What's an 86 Fleer box go for these days? 10K. Well,
Too
357.
damn much.
If you have to ask, and I don't know, that means it's way more than I know. And that's out of my pocket. Oh, we got Elite Hunters. What's up, buddy? I need a contact.
I'm on a Pepsi Cola budget, so.
Elite Hunters, if you can contact me on either, I know you don't do a lot of. We talked before. We need to get contact. I need your contact information somehow. So we got Bobbles talking about this Meneses. So I saw he had another good day. That dude is all you need is a chance, man. Some guys just need a chance. I feel worse for the dopes who kept Tatis all year on their fantasy team. That's for sure. Victor, if somebody else hasn't told you, it was a Fury tour is what MCL, but it looks like now he's got a sprained knee and a partial torn
is what I heard.
ACL. So I don't know if he's out for the season or whatever, but yeah, it just yeah. So hopefully, I hate hearing that. I hate preseason football. I don't like watching it. I'll read about who's doing what in camps because that's more interesting to me than watching a third string punt returner.
Who do you keep up with football, professional football?
Dallas
still?
Yeah, Dallas is. I actually bought like 25 Dallas cards yesterday for 50. I'm a big Micah Parsons fan. I mean, I know in the investing world, you don't want to invest into a defensive end or whatever. He's a slash player, but you don't. But I do. I love that type of player. He just grinds, man, and he's all over the field.
I'm going to really I'm going to put forth an honest effort to try to keep up with the Panthers this year.
Well, I was talking to
I'm trying.
The last 2 years, with the way the world is, the football seasons, all the seasons were just weird. It was weird to me. It just didn't feel good. And football, to me, needs to have fans in the stands. Baseball wasn't that bad. They piped it in, But football, like college football, and my buddy at work said it. I was like, it's just weird. And he goes, it's the bands. You don't hear the bands. You don't hear the chants. And I'm like, wow, you hit the nail on the head. And it just seeing the crowd reactions and all that, it just
college ball, it just has that atmosphere.
No, 357. I do not have a Romo jersey. I don't do quarterbacks too much. The only quarterback I really, really love is Roger Staubach. I'm sorry, Nats man.
Yeah, the college football I get into way more than professional ball, and I guess it's just a totality of the, I know people go and tailgate at pro games, but it is not the same to me. I've tailgated both. If I go to Chapel Hill and tailgate, make the walk through the campus, making the connection to my team, hearing the band play going in outside the stadium and stuff, it's just so much different than pro ball.
I would probably gag a little bit there, but throw up a little bit more. But anyway,
we need to go to a Carolina Virginia game now.
Yeah, I'm looking at that's a big rivalry game. So I need to look. I know they played at Wake Forest, which is I think
Wake Forest is a beautiful field.
6 minutes from where I'm at right now.
Beautiful campus.
This year you're playing at Virginia. So can you turn the fan on? I missed the Virginia flag waving in the back.
And then waving in the background.
Dude, I get a little warm. It does it when the AC turns on. Mr. Mangini,
I swore you had a fan too. Yeah.
I do have a fan running. It's over yonder. It's a box fan, so I don't have to run the AC all because I'm on the middle floor and it just gets a little toasty in here sometimes. We got John Mangini here.
Hey, what's up, John?
Yeah, we were talking about you earlier. If you heard your ears burning, need some info on a 1968 Roberto Clemente American Oil play ball card that I saw today.
Like a game piece.
Yeah.
Card.
Yeah, perforated edges.
Bring your knowledge. Lead master.
The only thing I have a problem with going to college games as much as I love to is I feel like I'm missing out on the other games going on. I've been known to have 3 televisions going at the same time, but now I have 3 screens, monitors with ESPN Plus.
Well, then I know what we can do. Then we'll just find us a good sports bar and be able to catch it. Then
is it Atlantic Oil? I thought it was said American Oil, but it's a blue border perforated card. It's got the round circle with his picture in it, like a portrait picture, actual picture taken, and a blue border. Yeah, so that's how I usually roll in colleges, and they should be starting up the week of Labor Day, that Wednesday, Thursday should be
coming up. I'm excited about it. I love Carolina and Navy.
Well,
Naval Academy, those are my boys.
Yeah, when I was in Virginia, loved it. When I was in Iowa, loved it. I got into Iowa. I still will watch Iowa here. They handed them out at gas stations. I did a video on them. All are low graded because they are perforated and torn. Yeah, so this one was a BVG 6.5, and the guy wanted 1,100 for it. It's the first one I ever saw.
Call a Judy chop on it if it's no good.
Yeah, I don't trust BVG 6.5. And if it was a card, you talk about $1,100. So I didn't want to even speculate if he was right, and then I went in there and go, I will take that for 500.
I never understood why people went with them anyway. I mean, other than I guess they were cheap to submit.
Well, the way this guy was talking, he had stuff from he had grading companies. I mean, he had everything. He just buys
whatever.
Yeah, that's a very high grade for that set. Yeah, that's what I was looking, because there was no buys on eBay. I got Mike on the texting machine, and he looked it up on VPG or VPC, whatever, today, and last sale was in 2021, and it was a 2.5, and the one before that was an authentic. So that's why I was not too high on it. Not at that price, at least. So VCP, thank you, Mike. So what I want to talk about in interacting with your community was, and I can be blamed as this for well. I like to engage in discussion, not angry discussion. It's no reason to do that. We're just talking about cards with other humans or non-human, whatever, on pictures, on cards. I should have gave him a Tatis for it, but so I was watching one channel that I watch pretty much religiously. They are very insightful, and they cause you to think, and they're not afraid to share their true opinions on the hobby, right? So I've left messages with the one guy before, never get any response in there. But you're asking questions and talking about things that are hot in the hobby. Um, about GTS losing their thing, Fanatics gonna do everything themselves. Maybe why they need to sell, why they have to buy Panini, which some of that stuff I didn't agree with what one person was saying, and I didn't understand how they came with that. So I had a 3-point question, and I wanted them to further elaborate on how you come to that. So that way, maybe I will change my mind. I've had somebody do that with me on like Trout ears in the last month. I've had people do that with certain things with me. I like to listen to people, and I feel like I'm grounded enough that my opinions can be swayed with a good enough discussion. I hate to say argument because people take that negatively, but if you have a good reasoning why you think that way. So again, this person did not answer me, and they had probably 50 or so, and I was one of the first people to write on there, and they answered the little ones that were great job and thanks and all that. It never went to the ones that were asking a question or even just wanted them to go further into what they were talking about.
Was that across the board?
Yeah, but I think I was the only one that kind of came across as
okay.
Please, and not I won't. I was not negative because I said, hey, I love y'all stuff. I'm gonna keep watching you. So this is not going to deter me from watching them, not yet at least. But if you're going to sit there and ask questions as a community, I don't care if it's scholarship or I don't care if you're sitting there telling me the background of some card is blue when I think it's green. Tell me why you think it's blue. Like, you can't just stop there. Maybe that's good enough for some, but not for
your obligation as a content creator when you post that to say, hey,
right. And
what you're saying, you should respond.
A large content creator in our community, somebody that feels like they are the center of our community, right? So how do you feel like these people that are not in your orbit, you want to pull them in, right? And bring them into you. How do you get, if you don't
acknowledge them?
Right. So maybe he doesn't know my name because I do not ask. I'm a lot of watch and listen while I got to do stuff in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But this one made me stop what I was doing and came over and listened to what they were saying. And it just made me listen because I did not. Because this thing with the GTS thing, let's just jump into that real quick. So GTS and some other people are losing their thing with Topps because Fanatics, right? They're not going to be distributors with Topps. Fanatics they got a distribution already set up. Me and Natsman talked about it this week. But they're going to need somebody to go out, and I think they want to pull more of the card shops in. That's way I think they kind of understand that is the base of the card world is card shops and the growing of card shops. You don't want to take that away. You don't want to make it all online because, for one, not everybody goes online. I mean, I just had Pepino Man on last week. Do you think he's the only one that doesn't buy cards online? I mean, I went to an LCS and people would buy the $30 markup over blowout cards at the LCS because they wouldn't buy them online, and they would come in and buy 5 boxes from my LCS in Iowa. A lot of people buying items, stuff that you hold, is very.
People would be surprised how more people don't buy online.
Right.
If
that was the case, you wouldn't have card shows. I mean,
Just stick to eBay.
Right. The car shows are big. Oh, we finally got okay. I thought I was gonna have to put out an alert. I haven't seen you on here today.
All right, Colorado.
Yeah. But you gotta look at what teams are on, how far they're behind, back. This time of year, you start seeing injuries on teams that maybe don't have a chance. Somebody hurt that could maybe play through it. Yeah, Colorado. If you're just watching, you better say hi at the beginning so we don't get nervous.
Yeah.
Was Probstein at the National? I believe so. I think Mr. Probstein himself was there, if I'm not mistaken. I know the other guys in the chat could answer that better than I could because I wasn't in that area that much. Oh, there you go, Don. Yep, Mike. There you go. So I just wanted to reach out and just see if anybody else had those same feelings. You know, you watch videos, you make a comment, you have an honest question. I mean,
well, it sounds like you got vested. When you're vested in a discussion that's drawn your attention, and you've, as a content creator, been able to create that environment,
right? And ask for comments.
You should
have discussion.
You should. I mean, I could understand if you had 300 replies. I mean, it's going to take some time, but
right.
You should, even if you don't do that, it's my belief that anybody that comments on your video on your channel, you should do some sort of reply to acknowledge, thank you for watching.
Now, this channel's pretty big, so I can understand after 24 hours or so, you probably don't. But I was one of the first. I saw it was on. I had a slow night, so
they're drawing you in. They want you to be vested. You become vested in that conversation.
Yes. And I kind of, I was going to drop names or whatever. I don't want this to be a rant. I just want this to be. I want us all to be better in this community, to grow this community. I hope everybody saw my video yesterday and saw my new intro. That's going to be my new intro, because the people are so much a big part of this hobby.
I haven't broken to Emily about the music yet, so don't.
It's the same music.
I don't think it.
I think it is. I tried to make it the same music so she wouldn't get mad at me. I had her in mind when I did it. If it's not, I can change music.
I'll go back and check it double.
All right. Yeah, and my new Big Scott 35 placard at the end that stays up longer. Nobody's mentioned that, but
Mike O looked great in that orange.
It did. I texted Dirt because I guess the Mets had a giveaway Saturday night, and it was the orange and blue like T-shirt jersey night. And I texted and said, "Look, they're all wearing Big Scott 35 shirts."
Mike, you look great in it, man.
And Don sent me a picture of him wearing it. I mean, I love that, man. Yeah, I just and that's what my point is, Andy. Is
what's
this
Andy
right
saying?
here.
Some
guys ask for comments to help with the algorithm. They have no interest in actual answering. I'm guessing it was a bigger channel. It is. But I'm not saying I'm a genius. I did ask hard questions, and it just looked like I'm just not going to bother with that because it would have been a telltale sign of. Because I question a lot anyway, some of these bigger channels. And when my first question is, so how long have you been collecting? Because the answer you gave sounds like it hasn't been for long. When you try to tell me that Topps Chrome doesn't have, outside of baseball, needs to rebrand because Panini Prism. I'm like, what? When the community is clamoring for Topps Chrome to come back in football and basketball, it's like you can't wait. It's going to be such an explosion, and I mean, and just think if we get the quality right.
And that may not have been the message that they wanted to have sent. It was just an articulation and could have been cleared up.
Exactly. That's why I asked the question. It went further than that to clarify, right? Because it just, the way it was said, it just hit me as like, wait, what? Did he just say that? And but of course, not everybody listens like I do, right?
Well, there's a difference between hearing and listening. We all know that.
Yeah. So I'm not married, so I don't tune everything out.
Yeah, sometimes it sounds like Charlotte. Yeah, all right, babe.
Yes, David. Yeah, and I understand that, but then don't ask for and don't answer. Then don't answer your boys or answer the ones with, "Hey, thanks, for
Pick
your
and choose."
Yeah." And the ones that were after mine, like days after mine, because I went back to look to go, okay, did they answer anything? And when I started seeing the ones that were answered, I was like, what? Which is, hey, I'm not upset because he didn't answer it. I'm just upset. I'm not even upset. I just wish, because that would make people drop me if all of a sudden I started answering Andy's comment and skipping other people's comment that left a comment for the first time.
Especially when there's good content.
Right. If somebody that I have never seen their name before, like Fernando, about a month ago, I saw that name pop up. I've never seen Fernando's name before. I welcomed him to the channel. Love his content. Loved him coming in and talking and leaving stuff on the up down below.
This is more like a constructive criticism than anything. It's not a complaint.
I just want us to be, especially after such a great time I had at the National. I mentioned yesterday, I love this hobby. I love the opportunities in my social world that it brings to a guy that's getting longer in the tooth. So,
because there's videos out there, and I'm not going to name this content creator, but there has been a long feud with another content creator, and that's that the original one that I watched puts out good stuff when he doesn't focus on that other issue, and it's like, dude,
Fernando,
let that go because you make some good content when you're not focused on and hashing stuff up that happened over year 2 3 years ago.
Right. And this is exactly right here, Andy. And you won't be surprised if I told you who it is.
What's Andy say? I can't read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I know that a channel doesn't answer or respond to comments, I might still watch, but I'm not going to waste my time putting a comment.
Yeah, you won't interact.
Yeah, and I mean, then don't do that. For me, that type of content, you want that, right? Yeah, and I don't necessarily. Let me tell you, some of my most fun I've had is when a few years ago when I started doing CSG, and I did it at the $8. This will show how long I've been doing this and who's been around me this long. And I didn't do the subgrades for $10 more. Oh, I got blasted for not doing subgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I explained myself, and then I still got questioned on why I didn't do it for the $10. And I answered him. And then I invited the one person, to come on one of my Let's Talks, because we can have a discussion, and please show me and tell me, and we can talk about it. And then I want to know how you hobby, because I can care less at the end of the day about stupid plastic. How do you hobby? That's what I'm interested in.
It makes it where, as long as we don't agree on everything,
right?
And if you're able to share knowledge with another person in the hobby, that very well could help their hobby
Right.
collecting
And
methods.
let me tell you, yesterday from Mike, this baseball card life, probably gave me one of the best things I've read was he liked the way I get excited about dollar box cards.
Yeah.
I love cards, man. I got a Ralph Sampson NT 1/1, and I love that card. You know, most people care a lot, probably might not even know who Ralph Sampson is. I love Ralph Sampson, right? I'm a kid of the 80s. But I'm also
brutal.
I love, my dollar box stuff that I pulled out yesterday. I did leave a video on Facebook if anybody's interested in seeing that. I'm not going to waste my time not waste my time. I'm not going to put up a 30-minute video on YouTube of me showing dollar boxes, but I'm trying to widen my social scope and in my personal. This is how I am trying to widen my community, who I can be in. Because if I can be absorbed into somebody else's we just got bigger, right? By one person. Either way, both sides. So on my personal channel on there, it's a lot of my friends I grew up with. I grew up in a small town. Everybody knows me. I don't know if y'all know I'm a little boisterous. I'm a little loud. I'm not afraid to speak. So everybody in my town, 4 years older, 4 years younger, knows who I am. I do have an older sister, so that helps too. But anyway, so I put that video in there because I get questions from people, and I just want to make sure if people have questions, I can help. And I got all this wealth of knowledge that's in my chat right now that I can go to. I mean, today I text Don, I text Mike. If I had John Mangini's almost hit you up on Facebook, John. And I hope you don't mind if I do one day. Because I just know, and we're all willing to help each other when it comes to this or questions in life. If you're just bored, like quiet, or going through tough things, this has been, like I said, a life changer for me, and I'm so happy, and I feel blessed as a person to have this going on in my life. Being a single person and happy with it. This is an extension of a family unit that, I never knew existed till 5 years ago. So I'm done with being sappy and serious.
It's a good feeling to know that, because I was able to do that with that Roger Maris card. I found that, and I made some phone calls and texts to some of the guys that are here on this chat tonight. And it was reassuring, to know that I did find a good lead, but it was validated. So it was really cool.
I would say you are wasting your time for showing $1,000 Philly cards, but we're friends, so I won't say that. It says, "Are you saying I'm wasting my time when I show off 10-cent Phillies?" It's my code. Sorry, everybody. Two from you this weekend, bud. I like to watch some of the bigger channels to hear different opinions, but honestly, everyone in the stream probably has more actual hobby knowledge than most bigger channels. I believe that a lot of the bigger channels, they're in it for that secondary income to help with the hobby, to buy big cards, to say, here, I bought this one. Look what I bought.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And we've talked about it. We've talked about it in a video, and it's, the opinion we have is, yeah, that's fine. But in the same, don't take away from smaller channels or those that may not be content creators, but they're followers, and they put their input like they don't know something. That's when it becomes a pain in the.
Don says that's why I love live chats. It's like hanging out. Exactly.
Yes,
I didn't want to call this a hangout because with so many people. I almost wish I didn't call it Let's Chat, because I've seen other channels have it too, and it's
deep thoughts.
I have the deep thoughts. I still have that placemaker
I got that one too.
The old SNL skit. So yeah, so this is from Staven. Live chats have become my favorite too, Don. I get upset when I miss some. Yeah, I do too. I love the live chat. I saw Legends Never Die Ticket Leprechaun, I think, was on Saturday night. Was it Saturday night? Last night? Mm-hmm. He was on for quite a bit.
Wow,
I was watching the ball game and doing other stuff. So, and at base Mets Phillies, the Mets in Citi Field, it's already playoff atmosphere there. So good luck to anybody that comes to Citi Field and has to play. I know the Mets are now going to Atlanta. Then they're going to turn around and come back to Philly. So after this week, they either going to be running away with the East or it's going to be tough. Yeah, Jake is awesome, dude.
Y'all
me and him exchange phone numbers because he lives in down south, right, of Carolina.
He lives here in North Carolina.
Yeah, so he goes to the Hickory show. I meant to text him to see if he was going.
He used to live here where I'm at.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, y'all seen him in the parade?
Yeah, he had a Savannah Banana hat on at the show. I knew it as soon as I saw it. Savannah Bananas. So I always had a smile on his face. He was a kid in a candy store at that thing, boy. So anybody have anything else? We're an hour in. I don't want to go too crazy. You got anything, Natsman, that you wanted to bring up tonight? We can talk some more if you like. I feel like I've hogged the show tonight.
No, brother. No, I was down with the sickness, as the song says. So I'm feeling really good. My she's sick as well. So I'm going back to work tomorrow, and she's taking tomorrow off. Right. And but getting back in the ring of things, I'm wanting to get to Raleigh. I'm wanting to go up to Winston. I've been wanting to go to your card shop for 2 years now.
Man. Just come on up and take a look at my collection.
Yeah, I want to get up there, and since now you're up here for sure. And
yeah, that stores. He started putting out boxes, quarter boxes, $1, 3 for $7. He's starting to do more and more because he said he wants his store to be more of a show atmosphere every day you go in. More Bama, nice. More Bama 37. I think this is a new guy. Welcome to the channel. If I haven't said to you before, he says love the content, guys. Just having a discussion about ball cards. I agree with you, Big Scott. Some of my favorite cards are cards that probably don't mean anything. Yeah, I don't really worry about that, and I'm more than happy to show it. Love the auto photo, Nats, man.
Thank you. That's that man right there. Whichever way, yeah, they're right. Yeah. So
I sent you a package. Have you got that yet? There's something in it from Bobbles and something. I got a couple of things from one guy that's been active in the chat over here. I don't want to give anything away.
Okay.
So
the Alabama guy, hey man, my niece is. I don't know if you went to Alabama or not, but my niece, she went down there. I think that's where she's going to go to college at. So
okay, cool. I can't really say nice things about Bama, but I like the state, not the college.
I mean, I just always think.
Hey, I love all educational institutions as institutions, but as the football team goes, I have a friend that a friend's daughter just graduated from here last year.
They say if you go to Alabama, if you do a campus visit down there, my God, you're probably 99.9% going to go.
That's what that happened to my brother-in-law's brother's son. Went to Ole Miss for a visit, and that was it. That was it. So Andy says, good to hear you're better, Natsman. Hopefully your wife feels better soon.
Thank you.
So we got Nats man fully on the rebound now.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy? We were talking about the virus, and damn if I didn't have it the whole time and didn't know it.
So Colorado Sports Dude says, seems like the online community here is small compared to how many people are going to shows or collecting, especially ones interacting. Information I love to see since live streams are thumbs up. Yeah, in Colorado, dude, you go to shows and people don't have a clue that there's a whole world of YouTube, Instagram, socials, blowout forums. I didn't know. I learned 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and I'm 50.
How many dealers don't do it? How many dealers don't have social media is amazing. It's few and far between from the ones I saw at Hickory.
Flag saying it's time to move on. It's flying now. Then we got Mike on it. It's almost like you made the national. You fit in with just about everyone who was there. I think he's talking about you, Nats, man. So,
thank you. I'm telling you, I missed it. Me and Scott talked. Me and Bobbles had talked through it, and I was crushed. So,
yeah, and it's just going to make it that much better next year.
Yep.
Yeah, Don. I think you got me right, or am I a little older than you? I can't remember which way that went. But anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody. Love having Nats man here tonight. I don't know, it might be just me and Nats next week. If anybody has anything you want us to talk about, please leave it in any of my anything below on any of my videos. Snoop. We got Snoop.
Oh,
922.
That's my man right there.
Better late than never, Snoop. I am going in October. Nats man is planning on going as well. Bobbles is planning on going. We're gonna have a nice little Bobbles and Big Scott community together probably there. I know some other people too. I hope to see you there, Snoop. I miss you, brother, in the community. I know every once in a while you put out something. I know Lou Rock kept telling us that the videos were for you when he was walking around.
And just to give y'all a heads up, go ahead with Mike.
We like you to do a ranking of Jeff Wilson's 100 typers. Well, it'll be all Carmelo and Anthony Carter.
Yeah.
Carmelo, whatever his name is.
That's the buy. That's the buy. You got to get it. Got to get it right.
Yeah. So we got Latrell going to Chantilly. We'll see you there. What is CSA? It's not the Confederate States of America for this one. I brought it up before. They really need to change that. CSA is card. What is it? It's card something association.
It's not laugh.
The first time I ever saw it, I go, why would they name a card show after Confederate States of America? Like, at one time nobody would have said nothing, but now in this day and age,
you need to change it.
Yeah, you probably need to change that.
Marketing.
Yeah, if you want to, when someone Googles it, you want them to Google the right thing. I'll get to the next one. So CSA is in Chantilly. It's in the Dulles Convention Center. It's right near the Dulles airport. It's a big show. I think it's from what I understand, I've been told it's the size of the Philly show. I forget how many tables they have, but they have a huge lineup of autographers. It's a mini national, but not so many. It's a good size, and for anybody that's into vintage, it's a great vintage show. And I hope to have more information of Philly because I think I'm still going in December. And this is true right here, Andy. Keep our brother Garrett Cardcutter in our thoughts as he left for a 7 to 10 month deployment before he retired. So I know he is following me. I got a follow from him last week. I hope he can watch videos on his tour. I know most of the time they can. So,
And if you're watching this, brother, thank you for what you do.
yes, Garrett, thank you very much, and get home safe. You and all your brothers out there and sisters, get home safe to us. All right. I think we're going to call it there. Like I said,
we need to say one thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we had talked about it, and so everybody knows Scott's invited me to be on here to be a regular on Sunday nights with him. So
it's our show. You're not a regular. It's our show.
And with that being said, my channel, I'll pretty much won't be doing any content, but very few and far between. This is going to be where I put my content at because I think it's more valuable here and being able to get heard and hear more from more people. So I'm keeping the channel open. So I appreciate everybody that's followed and supported me during my YouTube creation. But I'm here with Scott.
Yeah, and we're trying to, dare I say it, more professional at doing this. We're going to start having discussions before. So I promise nothing will be scripted.
Nothing scripted.
But me and him are going to have some discussions before shows since that's how he wants to go. And shoot, I might let him, if he wants to, if he wants to do a once in a while show on here, you might see it on here. Who knows? Who knows what this might be? Everybody sits on the bench. We're
bench
too tired.
Riders.
We're just too tired to clear it. We're just going to stay on the bench.
But thank you for allowing me to be part of it.
Oh man, you're a brother from another mother. No question, man. No question. It's been a thrill. Reese the flag is waving. So I also want to say thank you for 500 subscribers. I never thought when I started, it just can't, I know 500 is not a lot in the YouTube world, but it's for me. And I had up to 35 people watching, stayed around 30 most tonight. And all these people that I really respect come to watch this means a lot to me. So that being said, like, share, tell a friend, and until next time, see ya.
Deuces!